So there are people out there who have implied that there's a portion of the population that is immune from COVID-19, and that is an absolute false statement. That is a false thing to imply. I've gotten it from reporters, talk show hosts, and politicians. I have yet to hear a scientist or doctor say this. But there are people out there implying it, and I think that gives people a false sense of security, that they can't get it. Therefore, they don't have to observe the order or request for social distancing. They shouldn't be washing their hands more, that's a personal kind of thing. That is a habit that you either have or you don't. Most people I know don't. Most people I know, I've seen them do nasty things with their hands and then grab food and put it in their mouth, and I'm thinking, do you realize how many germs you're just putting in? I'm not saying you're going to be 100% germ free. You're not. And if you can't get out of the house and do anything because you're so scared of germs out there, well, this is the perfect national emergency for you, because you're not changing anything. For a lot of people, they don't think before they grab this or grab that or do this or do that. And it just seems weird that I'm one of the few people I know that doesn't want to get sick because I don't want to miss work. I provide for my family. I cannot afford to miss work. And that's one of the reasons why I've lived a healthy and clean lifestyle. Not cluttered. I do live a cluttered lifestyle, but a healthy and clean lifestyle for decades. And I think that people aren't willing to change their habits because of what's going on, because they believe that they're immune. No one is immune. Some people have gotten this twice. Now, there is a very high survivability rate. And there have been some reports of some people who are under the age of 60 and who don't have any pre-existing conditions getting this and dying. But at least one of those reports, the person had leukemia and had no idea. So we really don't know what killed them. There are HIPAA laws out there, so we're not always going to get all the information. And there was a false report from a doctor in my area. He did a private message to somebody, and he thought it was going to stay private, and this person shared it with everybody on Facebook, where the doctor was saying they had a bunch of 20-somethings in the hospital on ventilators, and it was an absolute total lie. The doctor had to retract it. The hospital had to retract it. So as much bad information out there to tell you that you're not safe, I still think there's more bad information out there that gives you a false sense of security. And I think people just aren't used to this. They're not used to social distancing. They're not used to being cooped up in their home. And this is a really tough pill to swallow. But until people start heeding this and start believing that they can get it, they're not going to stop doing stuff like, for example, here in Michigan, they've given a stay-at-home order for 3 weeks. If you work a non-essential job, they want you to stay at home and only go out for when you need it. So like emergency rooms are open, gas stations, pharmacies, hardware stores, grocery stores, banks, things like that. So if you need groceries, you can get it. If you're doing a repair project around the house, you can get it. Auto shops are open in case your car breaks down, something like that, right? Well, people are congregating at hardware stores and grocery stores unnecessarily just because that's the only thing open, because the theaters are closed, the malls are closed, department stores are closed, things like that. They're closed. So people are doing that and ignoring the order, and that's not going to help. The reason that they've done these stay-home orders in some of the states, why some of these companies have asked people to work from home or companies have furloughed their employees, is to give this stuff time to slow down, to give our medical system time to get caught up. And I, for one, don't want to be at home. I want to be at work earning money, but I can't, and I'm trying to do my part, but there's lots of people out there who aren't, and I do think it's because they do believe they're immune. No one is immune, but understand this. Most of us, if we get this, we will survive. Even if we get it twice, we will survive. When this is all over and done with, I think when they look at the percentages of people who caught it and people who perished from it, I think there's going to be some armchair quarterbacking, and people are going to say, why did we do all this? Now, I understand there are some people out there who have made their case quite clear. I have a sick child. I have an elderly parent. We're doing it for them. But I got to tell you, I've seen people take their kids to the store at 11 o'clock at night. What are you doing? Why are you bringing your kids out in public? They have special hours for elderly people at the stores around here. And during normal shopping hours, people who are in their 40s like me have to go. We don't get the first hour in the morning and get first dibs on what's been restocked, unlike the elderly people. I've seen tons of elderly people out. What are you doing? So I don't know if people are just that ignorant. They think they're not going to get it, what it is, but no one is immune. So I think there's a little bit of both going on. There's people overreacting and there's people underreacting. We're going to get through this thing, but it's going to take longer the more people are ignorant. And you can't save stupid. You just can't. And maybe that's a lesson we get when this is all over and done with. You can't save stupid.